In today's tutorial, you're going to learn how to use Claude the right way for sales and outbound activity by leveraging the new Apollo Claude MCP integration. And at the end of this tutorial, we're going to give you access to our prompts library that we built for our clients that consists of 21 prompts to fast track this whole entire onboarding and the creative thinking process when it comes to prompting. And the categories that we cover in the prompts are prospecting and discovery, CRM actions, enrichment, workflows, and sequences. It's going to be a fun one. You're going to learn how to use Claude properly, so let's dive in. Apollo's Claude integration is currently in beta, so the only way to be able to access it right now is if you're on an Apollo paid plan. Because Apollo is the only GTM platform that we utilize, we are on the organization plan. However, you can be on the basic plan for as little as $49 to be able to access the Claude MCP sequences, buying intent, workflows, and so many more fantastic things. But I always recommend before you commit to Apollo, just try the free version. It's phenomenal how unlocked they've made the platform on the free plan. So give it a go and see how you get on. Once you're convinced that it is the right platform for you, because let's be honest, it is the right platform for you, then just go ahead and upgrade to basic. And once you're on basic, if you need to upgrade even further, then you can do. But just look at that credit allowance. It's insane. Once you've got your Apollo set up, you want to move over to Claude.ai. You can use MCP or connectors on the free plan of Claude. However, I'm on the pro plan that gives me obviously more usage, Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and so many other phenomenal things. So if it is within your budget, go ahead and just get the pro plan because you won't have any restrictions or limitations to an extent on the pro plan. So that's always good to have. Once that's done, you want to go to the Claude.ai homepage where you'll see your chat box, and then you want to navigate over to the menu on the left hand side and click the third icon down, which is a customize button. This is where you manage all your skills, all your connectors, and everything that you want to customize within Claude. Once you've clicked on connectors, you can see all the connectors that you currently have, and to be able to integrate with Apollo's MCP, just click that plus sign, click browse connectors, and you can either scroll down, change category down to sales and marketing, or what we're going to do today is just type in Apollo, and you can see Apollo.io, find buyers, book more meetings, and close more deals. So we're going to go ahead and hit that plus sign to connect it. It will then ask to grant some access. It will redirect you to Apollo's landing page for the MCP. You want to authorize this. And you can see over here, Claude is now connected to Apollo. Once the page loads, you can see that the default permissions are already pre-selected. I would personally recommend enabling, if it isn't enabled, because I've seen it not be enabled sometimes, enable organization search, enrichment, and also job postings. Sometimes when I've been connecting the MCP for clients, these three have not been connected. Could be due to their permissions on Claude or whatever. However, if it isn't connected and you don't go through the step of enabling it, don't be concerned. A pop-up will appear on the screen as it's conducting these activities, and it will ask you for your permission to enable that specific activity. Claude is now connected to Apollo, and you can start prompting it to do whatever you want within the Apollo platform without leaving Claude. Rather than me just randomly typing things in, I like to be super organized and make your life a lot easier. So what we've done is built this very comprehensive Apollo Claude MCP prompts library that consists of 5 main categories, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, which are prospecting and discovery, CRM actions, enrichment, sequences, and workflows. With 21 prompts in total, there's pretty much a prompt with a template for you to just fill in the blanks as it relates to your ICP for every single area of prospecting and outbound that you need to conduct. To show you how comprehensive the prompts actually are, you can just go ahead and click on the prompt. It will tell you when you should use this prompt, what the template is, and then a completed example of the prompt, and then there will be some notes that me and the team have put together based on the results. So right now today, we're going to choose one prompt from each of these 5 categories and show you what Claude does. The first prompt that we're going to utilize and customize from the prompt library is going to be the prospecting and discovery category. Prompt 1, which is find ICP leads by title, industry, location, and company size. So this prompt initially reads as find me the number of job titles at industry companies in whatever location you want and a specific employee range. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to customize this. So it says, find me 25 creator managers at AI companies in the USA with up to 300 employees. And once I hit search, you can see that I didn't even need to prompt Claude to pull from Apollo. It automatically understands that it needs to do that, because you can see right over here in the connectors section, Apollo is connected and Claude's intelligent. So it understands that this is a prospecting activity. So it's going to run a people API search from Apollo. And you can see the logo right here. And in less than a couple of seconds, you can see that Claude has already started pulling off 25 creator manager type contacts at AI tech companies in the USA with up to 300 employees pulled directly from Apollo. I didn't have to dive into Apollo, utilize any of the filters or keywords or anything like that whatsoever. I just told Claude what I wanted. And we can see over here, we've got the first name, the title, the company, if it has an email or a phone number or not. However, for me, a couple of things that are an issue is that there are many leads at the same company, and a couple of the leads don't have an email and some of them don't have a phone number. We'll get to that in a second. As we go down, we've got a couple of highlights from Claude. One of the most important things is that it's got 168 total matches and it pulled off the top 25, which is fantastic. So to be able to tweak this a little bit and provide me the results that are low-hanging fruit and I am going to be able to prospect right away, I want to go ahead and put in this follow-up prompt, which is you should only give me one result per company, and each of the results should have the email status marked as safe to send, verified emails only, and phone numbers should be available. Search again for the top 25 leads. And again, in no less than a couple of seconds, Apollo refined my search and gave me exactly what I asked for, because of the way that we prompted Claude, which is fantastic. So now each and every single one of the leads are an individual at a unique company. The emails are verified and the phone numbers are available again, which are fantastic. We are comfortable with our credits being utilized for this search. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, yes, I want you to full enrich all 25 of these leads, and I'm going to hit send. And I'm not going to cut the video here just so you can see how quick it actually is going to react. It's taken maybe 5 seconds and it said it's going to enrich all 25 leads simultaneously. This will consume Apollo credits, 1 per person, so 25 credits in total. On the basic plan, you had, let's have a look again, 30,000 credits, right? So that's totally fine for it to consume 25 credits, in my opinion. But hey, I don't hold your credits, so you will make the decision. It's got the first one straight away. I've been talking for 43 seconds. And if you were to click on any of these down arrow options, it will show you exactly what it's doing. Now, imagine how powerful this is for you in your business. Typically, you would need an admin assistant or a junior SDR to jump into Apollo, manually perform all of these searches, add and remove the filters, tweak the search, use the AI research and all of this stuff. But they can literally be doing this in between their sales calls, in between their engagement activities that they may conduct on LinkedIn, in between going to send emails, closing deals. Like, everything now can be simultaneous with the most important elements of prospecting and sales, which is actually selling. So no more than a minute, I would say. It now has enough data from the enrichments. Let me compile the full table of all 25 leads, and we can see over here it's populated absolutely everything. I'm gonna blur this out for the purpose of the video, but all the details are there. To fully understand how Apollo's credits are utilized and consumed, I would recommend moving over to Apollo's Knowledge Hub, which is knowledge.apollo.io, typing in credits in the search bar over here and reading this article, which I will link in the description below, just so you can fully understand how the credits are being utilized and what quantity of credits it costs for each of the enrichment activities that you want to do. So do make sure that you read through this before you dive in. The next activity we want Claude to do is push the leads from Claude into Apollo. So I've quickly created the leads a minute ago called Create a Manager's Pulled from Claude, and I'm going to jump over to Claude, tell it to do that exact task, push it from Claude into Apollo into this leads list. In plain English, I'm going to say save all of these leads in my people's leads list on Apollo titled Create a Manager's Pulled from Claude. We are in Apollo, and on the left hand side you can see we're on the lists view, and the list that we're viewing at the moment is the Create a Manager's Pulled from Claude, and 23 out of the 25 leads have been saved. Just by me typing in plain English, save these leads that we found together on Claude into Apollo. Pretty cool, huh? The next activity that we're going to get Claude to do is push these leads that we've just saved in this list into one of our active sequences for outbound on LinkedIn and email. The sequence that I want Claude to push these leads into is titled 1 Create a Campaign 2026. It's activated at the moment, and there are 13 leads currently inside this sequence. In order to make this happen, I'm going to educate Claude a little bit by telling it 23 out of the 25 leads generated were saved in the people list, Create a Manager's Pulled from Claude. And now I want you to push every lead in that list, all 23, to the active sequence on Apollo that I have, which is titled 1 Create a Campaign 2026. And we're going to go ahead and hit send and see what happens. And in less than 6 seconds, 22 out of the 23 leads were pushed into the sequence. One of the contacts was skipped, which is very intelligent because Apollo and Claude identified that it was active inside another campaign. We are in Apollo. In the engage section under sequences, we can see that the Create a Campaign 2026 that previously had 13 leads active now has 35, which means 22 of the leads were pushed in. When I go ahead and I click in, if I was to click on contacts, I'll see all 35 of those contacts, which is really cool. And these are the 10 steps that it mentioned in the Claude chat, which is great. So I know that it works correctly, and these contacts are now being run through my Create a Campaign sequence. Even though the 4 prompts and activities that we've just conducted in this video worked phenomenally well, this next one really does blow my mind. One of the most tedious activities when it comes to prospecting and lead gen is searching for new leads every single week. Now, because of the fact that Apollo has got evergreen data and people change their jobs, filters change, buying intent triggers change, you're always going to get new leads week on week on week. There's like billions of people on the internet, so it's inevitable that it's going to happen. But the tedious element is going into the save search, searching for the net new leads, qualifying them with AI research, pushing them into the list, pushing them into the sequence, and yada, yada, yada. We've built a prompt to do all of that, to build you a workflow to conduct those exact activities that we've just done automatically every Monday. And this is how it works. The first thing that you want to do is jump back over to Claude and write, great, now give me a summary of those 3 key steps that we've just conducted today, which is 1, the prospecting search, 2, saving the leads list, the name of the list, and 3, adding those leads to a sequence. Name the sequence, and we're going to hit enter, and we're going to see Claude is going to act really quickly because the information is relevant and it was just conducted. So today's prospecting session summary conducted of doing this exact prospecting search, saving the leads to this exact list, and I like it that it specifically detailed that 2 of them were not saved because of deduplication or data conflicts. And then the same for the sequence enrollment. It explained that 1 person was not pushed in, and this is what's next. It's asking me, do you want to build another search, build a new list, or work on the outreach copy next? I'm going to say the following. save you time typing, you can go ahead and grab this exact prompt from the prompt library, which I'll give you access to in a couple of minutes. But here's the prompt. I want you to build a full outbound weekly workflow titled Claude's Monday Workflow that runs every Monday at 9 a.m. within Apollo, that searches for net new leads within this prospecting search, adds them to the leads list, and then adds them to the active sequence. Here's the exact steps for the workflow. Step 1, search Apollo's database for creative managers at AI companies in the USA with up to 300 employees. These must be net new leads and are not already saved. Next, the job title, the location, the company size, the industry tags, email status, and phone number. Step 2, enrich all the results to unlock their verified emails and phone numbers. Step 3, save these to the leads list. And step 4, add them to my sequence. Let's see what happens. Now, this will not be a realistic tutorial if something didn't go wrong, and it did go wrong. Claude currently doesn't have the native API ability to be able to schedule a weekly recurring workflow within Apollo, which is totally cool. However, it can see from my connectors that I'm connected to my NA10 account, which is telling me it's perfect to go ahead and do that. But we don't want to use NA10. We want to use Apollo or use Claude. So this is what we're going to do instead. We're going to navigate over to Apollo, and on the left hand side we're going to tap this AI assistant button, and we're going to use Apollo's internal AI agent, the AI assistant, which has the ability to control your whole entire Apollo account and conduct pretty much whatever activity that you want. And I'm going to paste in this exact prompts that we wrote out for Claude, and then we're going to hit send. And even though Claude's connector is phenomenal, it was able to do everything else that we asked. There's just some things that the native AI assistant, pretty much everything within Apollo, can do better. And look, it took this prompts that I gave it, that we created for Claude, it built a workflow, it explains in a lot of detail how the workflow is going to work, when it's scheduled for, when the first run is going to be, what each of the steps are going to be. And you can see the full workflow right here in the center of the page. It's going to enrich data, add the contacts to the list, add them to the sequence, run all of these steps, and that's amazing. So Claude, 9 out of 10, AI assistant, 10 out of 10. But I can't officially give it a 10 out of 10 until I give you a full tutorial on it. So do turn on the notification bell within my channel, and very, very soon there'll be a in-depth, comprehensive, full tutorial on how to use Apollo's AI assistant. As I promised at the beginning of the tutorial, I'm going to give you access to this prompts library that we've built for ourselves and our clients. It's got 5 main categories of prompts with 21 prompts in total to cover absolutely everything that you want to do within either Claude's MCP connector or within the native AI assistant for Apollo. To get access to this, all you have to do is comment the word prompts below, and we will send you this file with a whole bunch of other Apollo resources to make sure you absolutely crush it in 2026 with Apollo. If there's anything that I didn't cover in this tutorial that you do want covered, you can click in the description below to head over to my LinkedIn, and you can DM me over there, or you can drop a comment below and I will respond as quick as I can. And as I just mentioned, do turn on the notification bell to see whenever I bring out more tutorials on Apollo. It's the only go-to-market platform that we utilize within our agency for our clients and for ourselves, because it's awesome. So get cracking with Claude, Apollo, have fun, get some sales, get some leads, and DM me if you got any questions. Bye.